Howdy, welcome back to the shop. Working, keeping on with the little blue truck or little green truck here. This is the Pitman arm, attaches to the steering box. Now, this one is wore smack dab out. You can probably actually see that on camera that there's play in there. And you can spin that with 2 fingers and you can get half a mile of play out of it. So this is wore smack dab out. I am certain that this has never been off of there. Probably was greased twice in 230,000 miles. I've never had one of these Blazers that's not had a wore out Pitman arm. Of course, I've never had a Blazer with less than 130,000 miles. So changing this is fairly simple. After you get everything out of the way, you have to pull the power steering box off. And when you do that, I always set my steering wheel in the middle, straight up and down with the wheels pointing straight. You unbolt through the frame rail, and I slide when I do it, I slide the whole thing, the shaft off of the shaft. This is a telescoping shaft set up here. I slide the whole thing off, and before I do anything else, I make a mark with a paint pen on the top. Okay, all the way up and down here so that mark doesn't get rubbed off. I make a mark, and that registers to a mark that I make on the inner part of the shaft. This is kind of it's a round shaft with 2 flats milled on the side, so kind of a double D shaft. But that's what I do. It's not the right way or wrong way, but that's what I do to keep myself from screwing things up. Okay, and before I pull the Pitman arm off, I will, like on this one, I just find a mark in my mind. This one's got the clamp facing down. And the Pitman arm was facing straight ahead, basically, more or less. This has got 4 wide splines on it, so you can actually put this on 90 degrees off. So if you really get to screwing around on this and twisting on things, you can have a bad day. So to just kind of for a sanity check, here's my clamp, it's pointing straight down. There's 1 turn and 1 in, I'd call it 3/4 turns. Okay, now we're back to center. There's 1 turn and about a 1/4 turn. That's okay because I know where my center mark is over here, and I know that I'm still centered up. That's where it should be, right there, to be centered. So all of that is fine, and I took extra great lengths to not turn anything other than that right there when I was taking all of this apart with my clamp, with my puller on here. Now, these come from the factory. Let's get you zoomed back in. These come from the factory with a split lock washer. I hate spring split lock washers. I just don't trust these. Once you get everything tightened up, the lock washer peels out of there. These are garbage. So I've taken just a regular old flat washer, and I've put it on the lathe, and I've cut the hole out a little bit bigger on the inside, just because I like to do that. And I'm going to put this together with a huge amount of Loctite on that. I'm just going to soak it in Loctite. And I'm going to tighten it up as tight as I can get it, and about a 1/4 turn more, and that's just going to be good enough. This honestly wasn't much tighter than finger tight when I was taking it apart. I could have took this off with a 6-inch end wrench when I took this apart. But when I tighten this up, I will tighten the nut, and then I'll take and I'll whack this just a few times with a 12-ounce hammer. Just hit it, drive it up, and then tighten it a little more, and then tap around the edges, tighten a little more, and I'll keep doing that until this won't take up anymore, because this is a taper spline, and you want to work out all of the slack as you're tightening it. That's just how I do it. Don't know if it's the right way or wrong way, but that's how I do it. So I'm going to spare you all that. I'm going to do that off the camera. You get the point. Tighten it up as tight as you can get it. Whack on it a little bit. Don't get stupid and tear up the bearings, but tap on it. Make sure that spline is seated, and then tighten it up some more and keep tightening it. Tight as you can get it, quarter turn more. That's about all I got to say about that, guys. Y'all drive safe. Watch for deer. Oh, I take that back. While you've got all of this apart, do not, and I mean do not, turn on the steering wheel. If you go twisting on that steering wheel, you can get it out of center and twist up the clock spring too tight that runs the horn, and there may be two of them in there, but there's a clock spring inside the steering wheel. You don't want to twist on the steering wheel while all this is apart. So, with that being said, y'all drive safe. Watch for deer.